Hello, hello. This is Laura V from Laura V Studios coming on for week 3 of 90 days of channeling. And I believe I missed last week, and I'm sorry about that. I will send out an email later tomorrow, with links to videos so that you can get caught up. So yeah. I think part of it was, yeah, anyway. Okay. So, how are you doing? I hope you are connecting with your guides and loved ones or your higher self. That is what we did last weekend, is when so last week's Zoom call, community call, I shared a different way to start channeling because a lot of people were saying they didn't have the time to do the awe method. And my whole point is this is about getting started channeling. If the awe method is getting in the way of that, then we ditch it. This is how I roll. We ditch it if it's getting in the way. So I believe I put a video on the 90 days channel. So go check that out, I think. Let me know if it's not there and I will get it there. So the process, okay, so the process I guided them in last week was one, um, get into embodied awakening. Two, do the cleansing and clearing invocation. It's maximum cleansing and clearing that serves highest good, please. Yes. And imagine a shower just water washing over you and just running out all the what doesn't belong until you're clean and shiny. And then you imagine opening a door and walking into your soulscape. We call it the meadow because most common is the meadow, but it doesn't have to be a meadow. But what it does have to be is it has to feel like home, it has to be comfortable, and it has to feel safe. If it feels safe and comfortable, you're there. And the beautiful thing about the soulscape is nothing gets through that baby. No one is in your soulscape without your permission. Okay. So it's totally safe. That's why it should feel safe because it is the one safe place that you can be. So you go in there and imagine your higher, okay, so then you set up seating for yourself and your higher self so that you're sitting apart across from each other or next to each other in some way where you can communicate with each other. And then you just receive something. It can be anything. She might hand you something. She might show you something, might say something, might make you feel something, a smell might come up. Whatever is your primary sense is what's going to kick in. And then you write down what you receive. Now, here's what makes channeling is channeling is interpreting those messages that you receive. So it's channeled once you think about it and say, oh, that's what this is about. Okay, makes sense? So yes, that's channeling. So um I received a message. This is my favorite higher self story. I just love this story so much. Um, I was in line at McDonald's in the drive-through and I was ordering 2 orders of hotcakes and sausage, but I said 2 hotcakes and sausage. And my higher self said, no, you need to say 2 orders. I said, I don't need to see. He knows what I mean. He did not. My higher self knew him better than I did. He was trying to make a special order because 3 hotcakes come in an order. So he thought I meant to reduce it to 2, probably because seniors probably do that all the time. Bless his heart. That wasn't what I was asking for. And so I learned if I had listened to my higher self and said what she guided me to say, we would have had a much simpler, easier, faster interaction. So yeah, that's my favorite story. So that isn't channeling. That is receiving something that I could act upon. Channeling is I close my eyes, I'm tuning into my higher self and I feel a sense of peace. And then it's like, okay, what are you saying with that peace? I am here. That's channeling. Okay. Recognizing, interpreting what that feeling meant It's basically, she was saying, I'm here. By me feeling peaceful. I am here. That is what she was conveying. Okay. That's channeling. So that's what that's about. Here's the thing. A lot of people want to get into channeling because they have pressing issues and they want to know how to resolve these issues. I wanted that for years. I was like, why don't you tell me what I need? Why aren't you giving me practical advice? I was never getting practical stuff. Why? I don't know. Maybe because what I needed, they kept telling me what I needed, which was to heal. I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any good. Yes, I'm healing, but I've got all these other things that I got to do too. Why won't you address that? Well, you need to heal first. Oh, I see. I see. I couldn't receive the messages the way they wanted me to because I needed to heal. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. So, so yeah. But I did get messages once in a while that were really, really powerful. But yes, after I healed a lot using this method that I learned from Benjamin Bernstein last fall, much better. Things are much better. Um, and what I learned was by getting into embodied awakening, I didn't feel that pressure anymore. I don't have pressing needs. Now, sometimes, yes, I'm like trying to make a decision and I'm agonizing over it. Yeah. I think the reason they don't give me guidance because they need me to learn for myself. Like, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're going to have you experience this so that you can learn from it. Oh, because yeah, this last one was a big lesson. And it was really interesting. Okay, so what happened was I had hired a coach. I was trying to decide between three different coaches. I'm just like, oh crap, which one do I do? So I got, I don't know, something happened that I was like, I need to reach out to this lady. And she made me feel better. So I said yes to working with her. I should have waited until the next day. I totally should have waited, but I didn't. So I locked myself into a contract. I think I did. You know, what I should have said was, you know what? I don't feel right about signing this. I think we should just, but I didn't. But it all worked out because, but I didn't. I guess, and I think my guides knew that about me. They're like, you're going to learn. And and I did. It's just I thought, oh crap. This doesn't feel right. I don't feel good about this. This coaching is not good for me. Her style just wasn't right for me. I'm like, but I'm locked into this contract. I said, can I get out of this contract? And I got yes. I didn't trust them. I didn't trust them. I didn't believe them. But finally, I was just like, oh my God, a week had passed. I'm like, I have to tell her. I just have to tell her this doesn't feel good. And she's like, I will give you a full refund. I was like, oh my God, thank you. So, yes. So, yes, I got released out of the contract like they said I could. And so, you know, what's happening is we got a little scoreboard. It's like, okay, tink, tink, tink. I think we've got 4 or 5 now where it's like, I asked, they answered, and it was right. And sure enough, um, you know, so was that channeled? No, that was just me receiving messages. But honestly, isn't that what you want? Learning to channel is learning to be open. Okay, so let's talk about what is channeling versus what is receiving. So channeling actually means you're channeling. So you're receiving something and then transmitting it. Okay? So you receive something and then you speak it or express it in some way. You could express it in movement, you could express it in a drawing, in writing, but it has to be a form of expression that people can take in. Okay. That's technically channeling. I think what more people want them to learn to channel is just to learn how to communicate and receive messages from their guides that's actually accurate and true because they want the guidance and assistance. This will get you there. I promise you. This will get you there. Um, So I'm calling it channeling because people know the word channeling. We're really talking about communicating with our guides, connecting and communicating. That's what we're really doing here. Um, And tell me if I'm wrong, but my sense is that is what you really want, not necessarily become a channel. I have channeled for people. I do channel when I work with people. It just happens that way because I'm, tuning into my higher self and stuff comes out that they need to hear that isn't coming from me. So that is channeling, but I channel in order to serve my customers. So, okay, what's the difference? Professional channels transmit messages for the public. Okay. For me, my form of channeling is in response to a specific person or a specific need. Okay. I'm not transmitting messages in general messages to the public. I'm responding to someone and then they're channeling through me to respond to that person or that group. Okay, so it is channeling. It's just a different kind of channeling. It's a different function, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, so what does this have to do with you, right? Okay, so let's bring it back to you. So what I told them is, if you receive a message from your guides, you that counts. Okay, so where channeling is great and you can channel and that is fine. You can channel in your notebook. You don't have to share it with anyone. But channeling is receiving and writing out what you receive. Okay. Whereas a lot of times what we're getting is we're just getting like images, thoughts, sounds, inputs from which we can act on. And so that's really the useful thing. So for our purposes, that counts. So if you can't do the all method, but you can tune in quick and receive something from your higher self, write it down. That's channeled. You good. Okay. So I just want to be clear as to what the expectations are because I don't want you to put expectation again. I want to remove any barriers or obstacles that you have from doing this work because it's really valuable and you're going to learn a lot from trying this. Okay. Because another useful thing, um, guides are so amazing. I, I was hard on them for many decades, but I'm getting better. And it's because I get to work with you guys, and that really helps inspire me. And then I can see it in my life because I was talking with my sister yesterday, and I was talking about the attuning to abundance thing that I do. And she's like, I'm like, but does it work? And she said, yes. She's like, it has changed. There's been a shift. I feel more abundant. I was like, oh, yes, that's the first step to, and then she's received a lot of stuff because we went to the movie theater because she lost her job. And so she has some income, but it's not enough to cover all of her expenses for a month. And yet her needs are being met. And that's kind of the point. What I said to her at the theater yesterday is like, they could just give you the money, but that's not the point of this. They want you to learn to trust them. And then I thought about it some more this morning, and it's more like, um, you know, when we're really focused on what we don't have, it's really hard to see what's available to us. Heck, that's true physically as much as metaphysically. But so she's been getting little things here and there, but her needs have been met. So what happened was, I was like, I'm really grateful that I do this work, and I'm really grateful that I get to work with people one on, in live situations so I can respond, because that really inspires me and keeps me going. But I was like, I wish I would get something. It's like I've done all these abundance achievements for people, but I haven't really seen much abundance for me. Oh, that was too funny. So what happened? So we went to the movie theater and I have a card, and I've been trying to remember to use the card every time I go to the movies, well, a couple times a month, at our local movie theater. And so I gave the guy the card. And what happens is he gets the transaction ready, and it's time for me to put in the card. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I have my card. So they have to like cancel the transaction, and then redo it. So I gave him the card. He was doing something. I was waiting to pay. And then he gave me back my card and gave me my tickets. It's like, but I didn't pay for them. He's like, oh, yeah, no, that's what I was doing. I, all that people had done every time I gave them my card was put stuff on it. He actually took the time to take stuff off. I have no way to know what's actually in my account. I don't have access to that information. They do when they put in my card in their system. So I have absolutely no idea how many points I've accumulated. But apparently I accumulated enough to get 2 free tickets. One for me and one for my sister. I was like, so there was abundance. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, you have a free number 3 combo on here. It's like, really? So the whole thing, what I paid for, tickets, popcorn, a medium large and small drink, and Twizzlers, $7.50 total. So there were my guys saying, hey, we got you. And you aren't getting left out here. Yes, you were doing all this work for other people and it's beautiful and you get to be blessed by it too. I'm like, yay. So that was my guide's way of saying, we got you. But it really inspired my sister. She's like, I'm totally writing this down. I'm like, okay. Because it's really easy to forget when we get scared. And that's the other reason for this channeling thing is that when things get tough, you can go back here and say, wait a minute, I can hear my guides. I have proof in this journal that I can hear my guides because I've been writing stuff down. And if you need to, if you need to know that what you're receiving is accurate, let's do this week. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Let's play a game. Okay, so here's the game. You want to receive something from your guides in the next like 2 days. So if you could think of someone specific, actually I did this with Michael once, Archangel Michael. I'm like, I don't think Archangel Michael's really real, and I don't think I really connect with them. And I'm like, okay, if you're real, and if I really do connect with you, send me a sign. And so what happened? I came home and I have a long driveway. And so as I was going up the driveway, there was a hawk. Now we have a hawk that sits on it's our electric line periodically. But this particular moment, when I saw that hawk, I knew that was Archangel Michael. Like I felt it, like this electricity just went through me. It was like that wasn't just a hawk. That was Archangel Michael's sign. And I felt it in a way that I could not doubt it. I could not doubt it. And so that's the thing. You're going to receive something. So pick somebody. It can be your higher self even. Actually, that would be great. Honestly, is hey, what kind of symbol are we going to use to know that we're, you're here, to let me know you're here, or that we're connected? Like what symbol can represent you so that when I see it, like anytime I see it, I know it's you giving me a little wink. Yeah, there we go. So ask for something. And you know what? If you want to be specific, try it one of 2 ways. First, go into your meta and ask your higher self to show you something. Honestly, a smell would be fabulous. Because there have been times when I've smelled something, I'm like, there's nothing around me that makes that smell right now. So this is clearly a spirit sign. That's happened quite a few times actually in the last year or two. And so a smell is perfect because they can give you smells that aren't coming from anywhere. And they don't last. They come, you notice it, you're like, oh, and then it goes. It'll be there for as long as it takes to get your attention. And then as soon as they get your attention, it'll go. Okay. So smell is great. But it can be an animal, it could be an image, it can be a word. Those are all valid. They're all valid. Whatever, a color, whatever you need. That's like, yes, that I will assign to you so that I know when I see it, it's like you're giving me a wink. Okay. So what you can try one of two things. Try going into your meadow, asking for that and see what you receive. And if you don't get anything, although you probably will, but if you don't, then say, hey, I would like to have this sign. And it could be repeating numbers, by the way. Ooh, that's a good one. So like if it's 222 or 111, something like that. 333 could work too. Ooh, 333 apparently. All right. If you see 333, stop, say, is that you, higher self? And just see if you can just kind of tune in and feel that peace. And then you'll know, hey, that was higher self saying hi. So let's try 333 for everybody. Is our higher self is our little code. Or you can have a private one with your own. But you know, if you want to be a part of this, like we can try this group thing where 333 is it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's do that because sometimes, especially when things are confusing and scary, we need comfort. And a 333 sign could be a good one. All right. So keep up the good work, keep connecting, keep communicating in whatever way works for you. Remember, the whole point of this is, well, let's see, what is the whole point of this? Is you're wanting to connect and communicate with your guides to receive something that matters to you. You know, it might be you need comfort, or you need inspiration, or you need something else. But that's the point of this is and trust. You know, I think that's a big one is learning to trust what you're receiving, trust that they're here for you, and trust that they can do stuff when it matters. That's a big one that I've had to learn over the decades, honestly. But recently it's gotten better. So yeah, so actually, yeah, what's your goal? Write that down. Like, what is it that you want to, why did you want to do this? What is it that you want to accomplish and why? And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about in the Zoom call later today, and we'll keep talking about that because it could change over time, and that's fine. But let's see what it is for now. Okay. Okay, this is kind of long. So thanks for staying and listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.